We are not going to share any class link in your groups. According to calendar, you need to join. So at that moment, which class is going on, you can check in your calendar. So according to that, you can join. That's why it is today is first day. So I just put the message for your understanding. So no teacher is going to share the class link by mistake. If they share also, if they'll share 1 or 2 days. So after that, based on your particular class in that particular hour, you need to join. And also yesterday we had QCM meeting as the question raised by most of the students. As a question raised by most of the students, the class will be taken for 40 to 45 minutes maximum. Most of the times we'll be doing that. Sometimes we'll be extending for 5-10 minutes. That is, of course, it will happen. Right? So it all depends because see now it is 9:10 already. So all are joined around 9:10. So obviously if it is 40 minutes means it will extend up to 9:55. Right? So that is a problem. Fine, that will be rectified. And hopefully sir is also expecting we'll be getting to offline mode maybe by end of this month, maximum by end of this month. That is the expectation what we also have. Again, it depends on the pandemic because we cannot expect anything. It purely depends on the government rules and VTU rules, pandemic, so many things will come into consideration. Fine. So before I start the session today, I really appreciate the students, those who attended yesterday's class. All of you taken the quiz, and I also don't want to appreciate all of you except Mansi because I have given wantedly one question wrong. Object-oriented programming concentrates on data or functions, both of them, none of the above. Right? No one has raised the question asking that, sir, answer you have given wrong after submission. Only Mansi put a message asking that, sir, you have given answer wrong. See, I already told you a couple of weeks ago, don't blindly believe everything. If you get the doubt, ask it, whether it is right or wrong. If you get the doubt, ask it, what is wrong in that, right? Is there any something wrong? I'm going to kill you, I'm going to hit you, I'm going to beat you, or whatever it is. Right? When she asked, I said politely, good Mansi, at least you identified. Tomorrow class, I'll tell. See, something, if someone is giving either quiz or something, if you feel that you are correct, try to ask them. Don't argue. Try to ask them politely. If it is not correct, so let us have a discussion. Let us get clarified. See, why I gave that one is, the one thing I observed in your class is, which is missing is coordination. Your class, totally if I take your class is very good. Your class is very good. You people read, you people follow the instructions, you people will show some interest at the time of class, all those things. But teamwork is not there. So that's where I felt like, okay, let me give one question wrong, see how they are going to respond. All of you answered, all of you got the less marks for that question. Probably you might have given correct answer also, I don't know, right? But no one has raised voice asking that, sir, this is wrong, except Mansi. Mansi, she put immediately the message saying that, sir, I answered this question, this is wrong. See, I like the students who will ask, discuss, clarify, get the solution. Don't argue. Argue is a word which will create a disturbance between the people. Discuss is a word which will build a very good relation amongst the people. Not only teacher, with your friends also. Nothing you will get out of argument. Argument should be there. When it should be there? If you are participating in debate competition, if you are going for some interviews, there you argue, saying that, hey, what I said is correct. Now it is a discussion. Discuss with your friends. Ask your friends, hey, sir has given wrong. Why can't we ask? Right? So knowingly or unknowingly, when I observed, very few people will do that. Right? See, that's what I'll be keep on telling in the class also. Be active in the class. Be active in the class. Ask the doubts. Ask the questions. See, engineering is not about 56 subjects what you are studying today. It is not about 56 subjects. It's not about 16 or 18 labs what you are studying according to your scheme. It is about the attitude we are going to develop. It is about the professionalism we are going to develop. Just completing 4 years course, getting BE certificate fetches nothing. This is the place why they have designed for the 4 years. You need to learn technical, you need to learn personal, you need to learn professional skills, you need to learn communication skills, you need to learn interpersonal skills. So many things will come into the picture. Why I will be keep on asking you the questions? When you are answering, you will get the attitude of answering it. Tomorrow when you go to interview, if the interviewer is asking question, you will get that attitude. Immediately you'll start answering it. Immediately you'll start answering it. See, I'll tell you very clearly. Sorry. I'll tell you one thing very clearly, because today is the first hour. I want to create a point in your mind from today onwards. Because if I say all these things in the afternoon, most of you will be sleeping. Most of you will be drowsy, right? See, I'll tell you one real-time example which has happened. There is a student called Jayashree who attended a Tech Mahindra interview, and especially technical interview. They asked questions from C, C++, Java, and DBMS. See, out of the questions what they asked, she answered 85% wrong. She also know that. She don't know anything, she answered 85% wrong. But technical interviewer at the end, he said, you are got qualified, you are going for the HR interview. Then this girl cleared the HR interview, she joined the company. After joining the company, after 3 to 6 months, she asked the interviewer who took the technical interview, sir, may I know reason why you selected me? Out of curiosity, I'm asking. Then the technical interviewer said, I know most of answers you said is wrong, but I like the attitude, the way you answered. I like the confidence level you answered. I like the presentation, the way you presented your answers. See, everyone will speak. You will also speak. I'll also speak. The way we are going to speak is very important. Say, for example, I'll ask question, what is data structure? What is data structure? Right? Suppose Harshita is answering saying that data structure is a data structure is a data structure is, I think data structure used in C programming, data structures are used in C programming, and they also used in C++ programming, they also used in Java programming. She's not correct point to the answer, right? She's not exact point to the answer. Now, say for example, if Ashish is answering, what is data structure? Ashish is telling very simply the structure of the data we are using in programming language. The structure of the data we are using in programming language. Who will get selected? Obviously, Ashish will get selected, because though his answer is point to gunpoint answer, and it also like creates some meaning, and on top of it, his presentation is good, his confidence skills or confidence is good, his attitude is good. Don't know the answer, don't worry about it till you try. That's what I'll say always. If you don't know the answer, no problem, you answer. If it is wrong, I'm not going to reduce your marks. If it is wrong, I'm not going to kill you, I'm not going to hit you, I'm not going to beat you. No words. We are here to correct you. We are here to correct you. See, I never said this statement, especially when I go for personality development classes, I will say this. I will take personality development classes for the students in different colleges, then I'll say this. The relationship between teacher and student should be something like a sculpture, right? The person who is going to build a good sculpture, build one good monument, build one good the stone based articles, objects. It might be God, it might be dog, it might be anything. So we are here to mold you. We are here to mold you. When I can mold you, if your reaction is same. If your reaction is same. See what will happen. The person who is doing the sculpture work, he will follow the same procedure for all the stones. He will follow the same procedure for all the stones. Depending on the property quality of the stone, he will decide whether it is suitable for a god or it will suitable for a dog. Am I right? So that is the reason we will say the reaction of the student is very important. How you react in the class, how will you ask the questions, we will keep in our mind. We will try to put extra effort to explain you. We will try to put some extra effort to answer your questions, right? So the molding will be like that. It doesn't mean that we are not going to treat all as same. We will treat all of you as the same. You might have seen in ADE, when you come to lab, I'll treat everyone same. There is no partiality. There is no something like, okay, I know some student, so I need to give extra marks. I'll never do that. Rule is rule even for a fool. That's what my policy. I told you third IA, at the time of third IA, most of you not written properly. So all of you take the IA. Those who have taken, I gave marks. Those who have not taken, I have not given marks. So that means, sorry, that means it all depends on you. And we'll say one more thing. The relation between student and teacher should follow Newton's third law. What is Newton's third law? For every action, there should be an opposite and equal reaction. If I ask question, if you are answering, then I'll also get interest to learn so many things. Sometimes if something I don't know, I'll say like, I'll ask my superiors, I'll get back to you. Nothing wrong in that. So guys, I'm telling all these things because you are at the right time, right phase, right semester. Now, if you start molding yourself with the guidance of your mentors, I'm not asking to approach me only, any teacher. It might be your school teacher. Once you approach them, they are going to guide you. They are going to guide you. That is for sure. See, till today, if I have some confusion about my career, if I have some confusion about some decision making, I'll contact my professor who is in JNTU Anantapur. By name Professor Keshava Reddy, who is the head of mathematics department. I am from ISC. I am from computer science background. I'll approach the professor who is in mathematics. So that's how it should be. That's how it should be. See, all these things I'm telling because I'm little experienced than you. I'm little experienced than you. Nothing more than that. Always I'll say this one. Why I'm sitting in front of 60 students teaching only because of experience what I got. Once you get the experience, you are also going to teach thousands of students. So please take all this into your mind, take it to your heart, start building yourself. Start building yourself as a professional engineer. Get something out of your soul, which is special compared to others. Right? Tomorrow, if company comes and say, I want to give 40 students are there in class, 41 students. What is the difference amongst 40 students with you? Like if I ask Ashish, what is that something different, Ashish, compared to all other 40 students? You should be in a position to answer. That's where engineering stands actually. That's where engineering stands. So guys, take it into the positive side. Try to mold yourself. Any doubts, any clarification, approach any of the faculty members. They'll be happy to assist you. They'll be happy to guide you. See, they might be busy with some schedules and all because of their hectic schedule. Surely they'll reply you maybe a day later or 2 days later or 3 days or 1 week later. Sometimes it might be 10 days. It all depends because they also need to take care of themselves, but they'll never say no for anything. We are here to encourage you. We are here to mold you. Right. So I won't take much of time for this. Usually, whatever I taught you last 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it is going to be 8-hour session. We will do practical there itself. And we will show them how it is going to work. We will show them skywalk. We will build them confidence ice cube experiment, confidence ice cube experiment. We will build one self motivation experiment. We will conduct one brisk walk experiment. We will conduct one quarrel experiment. We will conduct one debate experiment. So these activities, when we perform, the students will get molded. So it is going to be minimum 8-hour session with 50 students. So I just briefly gave you the outside of that within 10 minutes. Hope you will take it personally to your mind, your heart, start building yourself. Already I told you at the time of results, don't worry about results. Results will come and go. So you need to act accordingly. As I said, it will be like a 2 legs of a person. There was one leg, it needs to succeed, other leg has to fail. So that is always there. Sometimes this one will go, sometimes that one will go. So don't worry about the results. Don't worry about your success. Start working towards the success. Success will fall on your foot one day. Success will fall on your foot one day. Right? See, the success of a person decided based on the end of the day, how you are going to sleep. If you are sleeping with full satisfaction, that means you are succeeded in your life. Success is not something like earning crores of rupees, right? Earning lakhs of rupees. When 5 to 10 people will say, hey, Abhishek is very good person. Abhishek is very good person. That is your success. The day you sleep on your bed with satisfaction, without any worries, that is called success in my perspective. In my perspective. So today when I go to sleep, I'll pray God only that one. See, when one student call me and say, sir, I became IAS, I became army officer. That is what my success. That's where I feel happy, right? Because I'm a teacher. I need to feel so happy for that. So guys, take all these things into input because first star only, though I know 20 minutes of time get wasted, I'm least bothered. I can manage the syllabus, but I want all my students should be the best compared to others. The best compared to others. See, last semester, one thing happened. HOD ma'am asked me, sir, you are handling 2 subjects, leave one subject. Leave one subject. I'm handling ADE for you, IMS for the 7th sem students. Madam asked me, leave one subject. If you want, you can clarify with madam also. I told madam very clearly, that time I don't know who are you, because I never seen your faces. I never come to your second sem or first sem. But I have taken some classes to you. I told madam very clearly, ma'am, if you want to take out IMS, you take it out. I am least bothered. ADE I want. Of course, I am also new to ADE. I learn and teach. Still, I can do that. But I want the same batch students. I don't want to leave the students. This semester also, initially I am taking only one subject. Madam asked me to take some other semester. I told ma'am, no, I want 4th sem. Because I want to continue my journey with you people till your final year. I want to mold you like that. I want to mold you like that. See, some students will be approaching me, some students not approaching me. Still, I'll put my effort. One or other day you will realize and you will approach me saying that, sir, I want to do this. Right? So this is what I just want to convey. So let us start the session. So before I start, once again, as I said in the last week, those who are interested to start with the Java, please start with that. Some student messaged me last week, my mother health condition is not good. So that's why I have not replied properly in the WhatsApp groups. I'm not available for the meetings. So now she is doing good. I'm ready to guide you. I'm ready to teach you about Java, how to go ahead with, how to start with, what to start with, all those things, right? I'm really sorry for the students, for those who I have not replied because of my mother health condition. But today onwards, I'll be available through WhatsApp. Best way to reach me is WhatsApp. Message me. I'll be replying you back, right? Thank you so much for listening. So, and please implement. Surely you will get benefited one or other day. That day you will realize me saying that, hey, sir has told that day this one. Right. Okay. Let us see what we have discussed yesterday. Then we will go for today's discussion. So yesterday we are talking about garbage collection, and we are also seeing the finalize method. How to use finalize method. See, don't worry about the programs. I'll show all the programs one by one as we did for the second module. Then we have seen the overloading of methods. Then we have seen the overloading of methods, which is also called as polymorphism. So we have seen example of add, right? So these are all theory. Then we have seen the overloading constructors. See, what is overloading constructors? See, when you want to pass some variables to the object when creating the object, you should pass them. If you are not passing them, you are going to end up with the error. See, the best example here, I am creating one constructor called box with 3 variables, width, height, and diameter. So when I'm passing the variables, I need to pass the variables. If I pass it empty, then it is going to create a error. This is the invalid way of doing it. So how to do this now? So if you want to do that, what you need to do? So when you are creating the object itself, in Java, right? So box obj, no? What is the name we have given for that? Ob. Box ob equals to new box of, because it is a constructor, box of 12, 15, 17. Or you can also pass the references. Box ob equals to new box of I, j, k. Or you can also pass box ob equals to new box of ampersand width, ampersand height, ampersand diameter, right? Now what will happen? So in this case, the values will be passed directly. In this case, some variables we are passing, for these variables we need to allocate some value. But here we are passing the reference. So for this, what we need to do? What we can do? For this reference, we need to get the value. Right? We need to get the values. Just a second. Yeah. So we need to get the values. Right? So like this you can pass. But if you pass directly, box op equals to new box of. So it is going to be an error. This is going to be an error. Why it is error? Because the constructor class is having some 3 variables here. So if you see the example, the constructor class is having some 3 variables. So if we are not passing the three variables, then it is going to give us an error saying that the parameters passed are not sufficient, or the parameters passed are not proper or not equal, right? So that kind of error we are going to get. So why we are doing this? See, you may ask question, sir, do we need to pass here only? Can't we pass again? That means after defining like this, you can also pass like OB dot box of 12, 13, 15. 12, 13, 15. Can we pass like this? Can we pass like this? Yes, you can do that. Yes, you can do that. This is also correct. But why we are not doing that? See, these three things also correct. These three which we have shown here, all these three are correct. And this one also correct. Together, this one also correct. But why we are not doing that? Why we are not following this procedure? Why we are following this procedure? Any idea? Why we need to follow that procedure instead of 2 lines of code or no? Yes? Why we are not following this procedure where we are writing 2 lines and passing? Instead, we are following these 3 methods, any of these one method. What might be the reason? What might be the reason? See, the reason is very simple. Sorry?
Time consuming for executing the program, maybe simple compared to others.
Okay. So any other answer? Okay, we got some answer in the chat box. Ashish has sent some answer. 1 second. It gives an error. See, more than it gives an error, we can modify the code without error. But what will happen now? See, as a programmer, we should always think about the time complexity and space complexity, which you have studied in your DA. Time complexity and space complexity. So to avoid the time complexity, space complexity issues, yes, very good, Sumit. To avoid that space complexity and time complexity issues, we are going to take it in single line. And also to avoid the confusion, why we need to have 2 lines, 3 lines, we can have in single line, right? So to avoid the space and time complexity, we are going to do a single line statement instead of multiple line statements, right? So like this, the constructor value should be passed properly in a program. If you are not passing them properly, we'll end up with a results wrong. Then, yeah. That you don't worry, that is non-technical questions. Okay, fine. So this is where I stopped yesterday, using objects as parameters. See, what we are doing here is we are taking objects as a parameters. Already we've seen this one in C++, how we are going to do that. Can any one of you try explaining this program, how it is going to work? If not, I'll explain, no problem. At least you try how you are getting that output, how it is going to work. Yes, someone want to give a try? If someone want to give a try, you can raise your hand. See the program once again. Take 1 or 2 minutes. It's a very simple program. If someone is ready, let me know. You can start. Yes. So anyone is ready to explain that program, how it's going to work? Nobody. Come on, guys. Very simple program is that one. You just give a try. No problem. If it is wrong, I'll correct you. So you
So
don't
can you
want to take.
show the program again?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Sir, first
Yes.
here we are using the variables a and b.
Mm-hmm.
Is equals, like we are initializing a as I and b as j,
Very
and
good.
we are going to a test like comparing of two objects.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the object object A is equals to object A of another object, and object B of the same class is equal to object B of other class, then returning it as true.
Mm-hmm.
And if the objects are different, then we are returning it as false. Like there comes the logic in that as pass OB. So in that first one and second one, we have equal like 100 and 22. But when object 2 is compared with object 3, there is a different, like, so we are printing it as false.
Very good. Very good. That's it. It's a very simple program. Very good. Thank you, Harshita. So it's a very simple program. What we are doing here is, as she correctly pointed out. So initially we are calling a class called test. Within that, I'm taking two variables, a comma b. So they are private to this particular class, right? I'm calling a function called test of int I comma j. Now what I'm doing, I'm assigning I value to a, j value to b. I value to a, j value to b. Then I'm calling a function or method called equals, where it is going to take the parameters as object, where it is going to take the parameters as objects, sorry, where it is going to take the parameters as objects, and it is going to compare the object value with this a and this b. So this a and this b. Then if both of them are equal, it will return the true. If not, it will return false. Now let us go to main function. Sorry. So I'm writing one more program, class pass OB. In that I'm writing main function. So OB1 new test of 100 comma 22. Now what will happen? Immediately test method will be called. It will go here. A value will become 100. B value will become 22. B value will become 22. So next time when you call OB2, again A value will become 100. B value will become 22. If OB3 is called, A value will be -1. B value will be -1. So that is the common procedure. Now what I am doing here is, first I am comparing OB1 equals to OB2 with which method? Equals method. So which is equals method, where it is here. Here we are passing the object O with respect to class test, with respect to class test, right? So now what is going to happen if O dot A, so that means O means the first one will be OB1, right? So OB1 dot A equals to OB2 dot A. A is nothing but OB2 dot A, because already it stored some value here, right? So OB2 dot A, OB1 dot B equals to OB2 dot B. If both of them are equal, it will read the true value. Then next time what will happen? So the AB values will become -1 and -1, -1 and -1, and OB2 value will be, sorry, OB1 value will be 100 and 22. 100 equals to -1, condition fails. So obviously it will write the false. So that means it is going to take these values to here, it will be assigning here. So the main intention of this program is how to pass the object as a parameter reference for a method. How to pass the object reference as a parameter for a method. Suppose if you are creating one object, you take the reference of this, that is O. That is O. So O is going to have either OB1, OB2, OB3. So depending on your program. So first time it is going to store OB1 and it is going to check with the values. Second time it is going to store OB2, it is going to check with the values, right? So like this, it is going to perform. See, you may ask question, sir, how OB1, OB2 will be understood by the compiler? Because here we are writing the method. For OB1, check the equals of OB2. So for OB1, what is the values? 100 and 22. So 100 equals to OB2 value. What is OB2 value? 100. OB2 value is 100. OB1 dot B value is 22. OB2 dot B is 22. So like this, it is going to take. That is the reason we are mentioning object followed by the dot operator followed by the method with parameter. Object followed by the dot operator followed by the method with another object. So that means we can pass the object as a reference for any method, for a reference as a method. So is it clear, everyone? Any doubt you can put in the chat box. If it is clear, raise your hands. It's a very simple program, how to pass an object to the function. Or do you want me to explain once again? Put in the chat box, I'll explain. So some message, we'll check. Okay. So what is O.A and O.B? Fine, very good question. See, Ashish, O.A is nothing but when you call this function OB1, it will go here. OB1 equals OB2. O.A is nothing but OB1.A. This A is nothing but OB2 values. This A is nothing but OB2 values. O.A is nothing but OB1.A. You may ask question, sir, why it is OB1, why it is OB2? Because we are calling the method like that. We are calling the method like that. For the object 1 reference, I am calling object 2. So that's why the left part will be object 1, right part will be object 2. Is it clear? So how you are going to call? If you call OB2 dot equals OB3, then left will be OB2, right will be OB3. Good. Fine. So this is how we are going to pass the objects. Same thing like C++. There is no huge difference in this. Might be little difference only when it comes is, so this calling the method, how we are going to call the method. Apart from that, nothing. And one more thing, again I'm repeating, when you are writing class in C++, you need to end with the semicolon at the flower braces. Whereas in Java, you no need to do that. You no need to do that. So this program, you need to learn two things here actually. In this program, actually, you need to learn two things. One is how to define, how to pass objects as a parameters. Second one is how we are going to connect two classes. How we are going to connect two classes. So you can see here, we are going to connect two classes. This is one class where I am writing main function. This is another class where the remaining program will be there. So this is called networking actually. In Java, we will do networking, right? So this is also one part of networking where we can communicate with or between the classes, So that is what we explained here. Right. Now we'll go for the inheritance. So what is inheritance? What is inheritance? So inheritance is nothing but inheriting the superclass properties to the subclass. Inheriting the superclass properties to the subclass. So do remember this definition. 200% they are going to ask you in the interview. If they are taking interview on C++ or Java, 200% they will ask you this question. What is inheritance? How many types of inheritances are there? And which inheritance is not supported by Java, which is supported by C++? These are the three major questions. What is inheritance? How many types of inheritances are there? Which is the inheritance which is supported by C++, which is not supported by Java? Those who are going to write your GATE exam for higher studies or something for job. Now GATE is also considered for job. Those who are going to have planned to attend GATE exam, in GATE also, out of these three questions, at least you will get one question. At least one question for sure you will get it. Whether number of types of inheritance or what is inheritance and which inheritance is not supported in Java and which is supported in C++. Or they also ask one more question, how to implement inheritance in Java. How to implement inheritance in Java. So in Java, most of the times we are going to use super keyword. We are going to use super keyword to implement inheritance, right? So I'll just, for all of your purpose, I'm just going to explain little about inheritance. So inheritance is nothing but extracting. So extracting superclass properties to base class. Some people will say extracting parent class properties to child class, right? So this is the definition of inheritance. So inheritance in Java is going to be implemented with the help of super keyword. So super keyword we are going to use. There are two ways. First we'll see super keyword, then we are going to see this remaining. So super keyword will be used for inheritance, right? So there are multiple type of inheritance, which is single inheritance, multi-inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hybrid inheritance, right? Single, multiple, multi-level, hybrid, right? So these are the main types of, and still we have some more types. Actually, I'll get 6, so I missed someone. We'll see that when it comes. We'll see, right? So these are the different types of inheritances. So basically, if you ask me, non-technical way of telling this one is inheriting the parent class properties to child class. Like for example, you are in your home also, people will be telling you are getting properties, I mean qualities same like your parent, either mother or father, right? Especially those who understand Kannada also. In Kannada, they'll be most of the times using this word, saying that ella nim appan tara aadtidya, ella nim amman tara aadtidya, right? So in people will say your parents or I mean grandparents will say you are looking the same like your father, you are acting same like your father or mother, right? So that is what same thing inheritance is all about. So extracting the parent class properties to the child class, or extracting superclass properties to the subclass. So that is what called inheritance. So I'm not going to continue now. So I'm just going to stop it here. In the next class, we are going to see what is inheritance, how to implement inheritance. It's very important both for your BTU as well as for your interview, right? So now just stay back. I'm going to share you the quiz. So take the quiz and then you can leave, right? So be in the class for next 2 minutes. I'm going to share the quiz. Once I share, I'll let you know. All right, so I have some issue with that quiz. I'll share with you. You will get in the Teams notification. You fill that quiz later, no problem, right? So once I share with you, I'll just put a message to your